He was a simple soldier, an infantryman. For a boy, I suppose, he was quite young, having joined the Hitler Youth early, maybe age 11 or so. Hitler had made quite an impression on young Reinhold Schultz, just as he had on the rest of the population.
So my infantry service started later in the war. My parents were very proud of me, though. I must say that my training with the Hitler Union was tempered a bit by my father and mother's political views. Most people felt Hitler started off doing good things for Germany. What I mean to say is that we believed, but we were not fanatics.
Hitler's propaganda machine held wartime Germany in a tight grip. It was something, well, it was like
Hypnosis.
But by the time Reinhold was put into his service uniform, he was beginning to become aware that things with Hitler were
not as advertised.
Still, he was loyal. It was best to be loyal. However, soon cracks began to form in the Führer's plans, and his grip on the country was weakening. But Reinhold remained steadfast.
It is hard to explain.
He was a young man from Tennessee. It wasn't unusual after Pearl Harbor for a young man like him to lie about his age in order to serve in the war. It was the right thing to do, to fight for your country and do your duty against the enemy. He killed his first man with a knife not long after landing in North Africa.
I had no choice. There was more enemy resistance when we landed in Sicily. I was lucky and learned a lot about how to survive. Our unit was then sent to England for additional training. Eventually, we learned we were going to Normandy, take part in the D-Day invasion.
Having already experienced so much war, had he learned how to bury his emotions. His nerves, however, were much like a wire stretched to its limit. Although an experienced soldier and steeled for battle, he still had no perception of what awaited him on that beach.
Getting onto Omaha Beach was a grim task. It was complete chaos. When your head isn't buried in the sand, you're looking around at all the dead bodies and devastation. It's like you are someone else entirely. An observer. Disconnected. Keep moving. Get off that beach.
Very quickly, he found himself separated from his unit.
I wound up assisting a corpsman with litters on the beach. It was madness. Along with the noise of the battle, the word I heard most was medic. Shouted, screamed continuously. Dying soldiers calling out for their mothers.
As I got older, age 15 or 16, school for me was part letters and numbers, and part adventures. You can imagine what the Hitler Jugend were being taught. It wasn't long before our activities were more of a military nature. When American bombers flew over, we'd leave the classroom and help load the flak guns.
They were being schooled to define courage. They were learning to survive.
We shot down more than one bomber during this time. The B-24 crashed near our gun emplacement. It was the first time I saw a dead enemy. This made things real for me. Germany was running low on experienced soldiers. This is one reason the Hitler Youth were thrown into battle, sometimes as virtual cannon fodder. Many of the boys were fierce, fanatic. 3,000 died just in the invasion of Normandy.
A medic I helped out on the beach, I noticed him later crawling into a minefield to save 6 injured men. Got 5 out safe. The last one reached out to him, hit a bouncing Betty mine. The medic managed to crawl away, cover up before his second trigger let go. When it did, that soldier just disappeared.
We cheered the death of that young bomber crew. Inside, I felt sorry for them. They looked to be about the same age as me. But I cheered along with the rest. Those who did not show their loyalty oftentimes simply disappeared.
Sie kein? Omaha Beach struck me as hell on earth. Fighting through it seemed the very definition of courage. Dead, dying men everywhere. Bullets boiled the water. Shells exploded in a constant barrage that turned the sand into... It almost seemed like a living thing. Moving. Ever changing. Blood in the water. Blood in the sand. Blood in the air, for God's sake. Liberty and justice for all!
It's hard to feel the presence of God in the midst of slaughter. You can pray to him. You can ask him for help, or forgiveness, or mercy if you're wounded. But sense his presence. Regardless, there was a lot of praying.
Years and years of war have ravaged our people, weakened our morale. Still, we obey the Führer.
All these GIs being lost and for what? Huh? By the time the Battle of the Bulge rolled around, Germans were, as my daddy used to say, hanging on like ticks to a dog. Sometimes, I swear I wanted to kill them all.
December 1944, and opposing troops converged for what was to be the last major German offensive on the Western Front during World War II.
It was war. Changed
You
everything.
see the enemy, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him.
My parents. But whose innocent bullets killed them? German, American.
Despite the fact that the Allies had managed to gain a strong foothold in Western Europe, Germany was still resisting, hoping to inflict heavy casualties and change the flow of the war. Hitler's army was concentrating its forces for a decisive counterattack near the Ardennes forest along the French and Belgium border. That was to become the Battle of the Bulge.
Better go get the bastards before they get you.
Bone, muscle, shattered.
This gun don't have manners.
You are a traitor. 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 I am a soldier of the German army.
I'm 100% American.
Funktionieren. Scheiß drauf. Ihr verschwinde hier.
À votre santé, Jacqueline. Joyeux Noël. Merci, François. To your health as well. André, for you, my brave little brother. I suppose, now you are fighting with the resistance, we no longer dilute your wine. N'est pas? I have been hiding in the Rochely barn on and off, along with the most hideous rats you ever saw. Of course, I could not let on in front of the Rochely children. They scared me half to death, so I said, oh la la, there's a big one. Suppose we should give him a name. They named the ugly thing Jacqueline. Pour vous, mademoiselle. Thank you, children. André, did I tell you? Grandmama rode her bicycle all this way just to be sure I was safe. Of course, it would be a foolish soldier who tried to confiscate a bike with Gran on it. I hope you both have a dry barn to sleep in tonight. But the fleas bite you half to death, no? François, pardon, I have not... If my little brother were not sitting right here with us, I would tell you how much I miss you. But for now, well, I shall mend the wheelbarrow and fix the pump and go on counting the days. Anyway, Germans have finally left the area. It feels so good to be safe again. You see, they did not get the nativity. I brought it with me in the old pram. I wish the news were better. This awful snowy weather means we can't get any air support from the Allies. Still, tonight is glorious, and I pray that wherever you are, your Christmas star keeps you safe. Jacqueline, is it time to have that nice cheese you hid away to celebrate the Christ child's birth? Mais oui, what a clever girl you are. Thank you. No, thank you. By the way, my loves, perhaps you have noticed this rather strange habit I've acquired of talking to to myself. Comes from being alone. Unless, of course, it is senility. Do not go away. I shall be back tout de suite.
Meine Mäuschen. Ich warne dich nur einmal. Verstehen Sie direkt?
Tut allemaal. Mieux, ein bisschen. Je suis français. Do you speak English?
Where are the others?
There's no one here.
Do you think I cannot see? There are 3 places.
I can see that we are both shaking. You are frightened, as I am.
Me? Frightened? Listen to me. I am a soldier of the German army. I have a knife on her and will use it unless you come out with your hands up.
And, Monsieur, you are talking to a few old hens out in the barn.
I am giving you one more chance. Who is the wine pot for?
My fiancé and my brother are all fighting. I sent extra places tonight so I don't feel so alone. It is only that I notice you are bleeding.
It is nothing.
I won't have you bleeding on my kitchen floor. If you will put this knife aside, s'il vous plaît, I will take care of it. Need some antiseptic? Of course they've stolen it. Perhaps some vinegar will do. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You should not be frightened, Fräulein. I will not harm you.
You, Monsieur. So now if you will put out your arm. I know it stings a lot.
Nein. I feel nothing.
It should prevent infection. I only go to look for a soft cloth. I took some things while I was staying away nights. It has not been so good here.
Not good anywhere.
Yes. But it is here I'm talking about. First the planes. To destroy the roads, they said. But everywhere they bombed. Human beings. Never will I forget the sound. First, the bombs screaming. Then the people. That was the worst. Broken people. Crying for a doctor to help. Old people. Crying like babies for their mothers.
The bodies of children stare motionless in death. And when the German troops came, they were everywhere, day and night, until finally, one morning it was quiet. So, it is many days since there were any German troops here. So, what are you doing way out here bothering me like this?
I have walked a very long way. Through the forest. For many days.
I suppose you have not eaten. Bien. On Christmas Eve, no one should go hungry.
It is Christmas Eve?
You did not know. Please. Eat.
Stay right where you are! Who speaks English?
We speak and understand well enough, monsieur.
So, your absent French fighter is American.
I do not know him. Please.
Stay right where you are! Both of you!
I only wish to tell you.
You don't need to tell me anything until I have a look around.
My God. Taken in by a child.
I think you're not much older yourself.
True. But I am a soldier of the German army.
Will you please be quiet about the German army?
Tricked by a female.
And allow your ego a little holiday.
You cannot speak to me like that.
You are in my house.
Shut up! I think you both forget who has the gun. Now, who are you and what's going on here?
I am Jacqueline Brûlé, and I live here. I do not want any trouble in this house, so I would like everyone to calm down.
You don't make the rules for me. How long you been in cahoots with the Nazi?
She was only helping to...
The soldier came in here just as you do. And since it is Christmas Eve, I was giving him something to eat.
It's Christmas Eve.
And since this is my home, we will all sit now.
Right. That's what we're gonna do. All sit down. Don't forget, guns don't have manners. In fact, this gun, it's got the first and last word here.
I was about to cut some bread. Of course, the souffle pan noir is all we can get, but the cheese is good.
You got any vehicles around here?
I'm afraid not, monsieur. We still use horse and wagon on the farm.
Okay. You stay here with me.
I'm gonna need some provisions for the road. A blanket, some sort of transport. You got that straight?
What did you have in mind? A fancy carriage?
Oh, it don't have to be fancy.
That is lucky.
Whatever goes fastest.
That will be up to you, monsieur, since you will be pulling it yourself.
Listen, I haven't slept for over a week. I've been walking for days, crapping and puking my guts out. If you're not friendly with the enemy, it better be true. I suggest you remember who your friends are.
Of course. And if you do not speak to me that way, it will be easier.
Sorry. I'm gonna need your fastest horse. Damn it, listen to me! I assume you got something out in that barn that's got legs. So whatever it is, you hitch it to a wagon, and I'll make the best time I can. Someone want to explain to me what's so funny? You know, to me, this war is no joke.
I laugh because I am too tired to even feel much fear anymore. I am tired of being cold and hungry and lonely, and I am so very tired of this war. And when I try to pretend a little joy on Christmas Eve, what do I get? You too. So, I hope a little smile was permissible as I pictured you being pulled through the countryside by two skinny little hands.
You said you had horses.
Not since the soldiers came. Luckily, they overlooked my cat and the few chickens. How sad. On this beautiful, holy night, you are both separated from your units. Lost in the forest.
Hell no, I wouldn't lost.
Nein, not lost. They know where I am. It will be very soon here.
Oh, yeah? They ready for a little skirmish? My buddies will be here any minute.
Yeah. Is that why you were so eager to get away?
Shut up. What the hell are you doing?
They were carved by my grandfather, each one by hand. On Christmas Eve, we are allowed to place one figure in the creche. One thing for each good deed we have done during Advent. We do it this way. You see? Blessed Mary. I know this night is difficult for you, but do not be afraid. These little sheep will keep your new baby warm. And wise men are on their way. The sheep is from me, Jacqueline Brûlé, earned by saying her prayers last night, even though she was very tired. And, this is from Monsieur, your name.
Reinhold.
Schultz.
That's a good crowd name.
His good deed is... Don't worry, you can use the same as mine. He was also very tired last night, but I know he said his prayers. And this is from? monsieur. Come. Mary is waiting.
Miller. Eddie Miller.
Miller. You have also a good Kraut name.
Miller's as American as apple pie.
Ja, ja. Herr Müller. So, did this reach a nerve? You are a traitor. You fight against your own blood.
My grandfather came to the USA a long time ago, which makes me 100% American. So you say something like that again, you'll be spitting your teeth. You understand?
Stop. You will not be enemies in this house.
Not be enemies.
That is foolish talk, Fräulein.
He has a gun. He is in no position to take prisoners. So as soon as it pleases him, he is going to kill me. And he will enjoy it.
You have heard, perhaps, how the Americans kept bombing the south of France.
Even when there was no further need. Except to, what? Enjoy the destruction?
I never heard stuff like that. I can tell you what I have seen. Germans annihilating everyone on sight, all for the glory of their Führer.
I wish you could meet my Francois. He believes that a war makes good people on all sides commit unspeakable atrocities. And I believe he is right. Both of you, stop playing enemy roles. Not on this night. Not on Christmas Eve. Do you know what happened during the First War in the trenches on this night?
Christ almighty. Who gives a damn?
Here, Eddie Miller, look. Here, the Germans. There, the Allies. The Germans can hear from across the field. It is the British soldiers singing. Silent night, holy night. Also, the British can hear the Germans singing. Stille Nacht, heilige. Both sides begin to sing together. One by one, the men appear from the safety of their trenches. The guns are quiet. The sounds of killing are still. It is a silent night, as surely God intends night to be. The soldiers walk toward one another until they are close enough to say Joyeux Noël. That is, the British soldiers would have said it this way, in English. Come, Eddie. What did they say to the Germans? Well, say it. Say to him, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merci. And the Germans would say,
Frohe Weihnacht.
That's a bunch of baloney.
No, she speaks the truth. I remember hearing something from my uncle.
it is very good to smile for a change. They are so tired of the killing. One man offers cigarettes as a gift, another has coins. They show photographs. They exchange whatever they have. See? These are my children. These beautiful children are yours? You are a lucky man. And this is my beautiful wife. Huh? Ah, yes, you can see she is as lovely as my wife. You are a lucky man yourself. Remember, these are men taught to call one another the enemy.
So, what happened?
Eventually, they must return to their trenches.
And then what?
The next day, they must resume fighting with one another.
You and your touching love story. You know what? You don't know a thing about life. Because I had to find out in a hurry. Guy finishes up high school so he can have a future. Is that too much to expect? Uncle Sam grabs you. Shove you overseas before you know what hit you. They tell you, better go get the bastards before they get you. Go ahead, soldier. Walk right up to the bulletin unless you're dead. You're gonna see things that are gonna give you nightmares for the rest of your life. I can't even tell you. The guy's right next to me. Pieces of him landing all over me. I've lost a cousin and a couple of real good buddies of mine in this damn war already. So maybe you better come out of your little Mary's waiting dream world. Join the rest of us.
My parents, caught in the crossfire. Innocent victims of this war as we all are. But whose innocent bullets killed them? German? American? Maybe even French. They were crossing a road. My father, he has always walked with LMPC since the First War. They told me that when the bullets started, he tried, but was unable to move fast enough. They cried to him, "Run, run." He tried his best. And Mama, she would not leave him. They never hurt a soul, either one of them. And I will never see them again. Never. Now, listen to me, both of you. It is Christmas Eve, a good time to remember. War is the enemy, not people, not any of us. So, we are going to sit at this table and have some kind of a Christmas supper and be thankful. We will not be enemies.
I do not know sometimes what is real. I barely remember what it is like to be clean, civilized. To say bitter, Duncan.
Wear clothes, aren't crawling with lies. Sit on the toilet seat. To eat food with a fork. Over here, my hands are always covered with blood and filth.
tonight. No one is the enemy. When you leave, you will go peacefully on two separate paths without looking back. I'm sorry it is not more festive for Christmas. But of course, I expected no one here but myself.
You forgot the hens.
Of course. I should have decorated.
I have known few hens who enjoy decorations.
We could have put out our shoes for Père Noël, though I fear you will have to fill them with snow instead of candy.
My very first memory of candy. Small chocolate that Nachtwupper left in my little brown shoe. Advent. It's the only time of year I had power over my brother Gunther. He was afraid that if I told he had been bad, then Nachtwupper would use his switch.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
In America, I believe you put your shoes on the window ledge for Père Noël to put in little sweets, if you have been a good boy.
Oh. It's not shoes, it's stockings. We hang our stockings by the fireplace. And stockings hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas will soon be there.
You are serious.
Yeah.
You put your stockings. Excuse me for saying so, but doesn't Père Noël laugh to see such a thing?
Fräulein, you do not still...
Oh, no. I learned the truth last year when my shoes were empty.
When I was a kid, my mother used to let us paint pine cones for decoration. But all we had was this silver radiator paint. we almost passed out from the fumes. but we thought that our silver cones were fancy enough for John D. Rockefeller. Kids don't do stuff like that anymore. They got tinsel you buy at the store.
In Germany, for so many years, there has been no money. Since the First War. My grandmother says, the world is bleeding Germany, making us to pay for when we had no work. No food. Our children were dying from starvation. Until finally, Hitler came along. Put us back on our feet. My family was luckier than some others. You see, my father is a surgeon, as I will be also. He teases my mother that one day he will hang a sign in the parlor window, little blinding lights that will say, Schultz and Son, surgeons. And Mama Schultz at the piano. But that must wait. That must wait for when God decides it is time for us to win the war.
I am sure Eddie Miller believes just as strongly that God is on his side. So perhaps we had better not make God part of such a conversation. As soon as the war is over, Francois and I will be married. His parents are willing for us to take over the farm, and I will have 4 little boys, all named Francois.
This here is Dottie. Yeah, as soon as we get married, we're heading out for a little spot I got picked out in the mountain where we are going to raise kids and horses. Before we shipped out, I bought her a diamond. I'm gonna get her another one. Bigger one for our first anniversary. Yep. I am one luckiest son of a bitch. Oh. Excuse me. Oh, us, Jacqueline.
Oh, look at... The stars are so bright. I remember on Christmas Eve walking to the village for Mass, so excited to be up for midnight. Papa would bring the wagon for the ride home, and Mama would tuck us under this big scratchy blanket. And then, when we were home and asleep, they would put a little tree right here in this room for Père Noël to decorate when he came to fill the shoes. Let us have a tree. No, come, it's a little one, but it will bring us joy. Well, don't just sit there, help me. It has to go right there. Go and move the table. A clear one, just put it on the...
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Don't you dare, look. I can, yes. All right.
Is that our tree?
That's our tree. Monsieur Douglas Fair. Just put that right there, and I can...
Ready, buddy? Ready, 2, 3.
Go, yes. No, I don't have anything to decorate him.
I got you.
Yeah.
Can I have my pad?
Look, oh!
Here we are. I remember when Mama and Papa were ready to decorate the tree. They would say to us, all right, now you two, shoo. Gunther and I must wait upstairs until it is time.
There we go.
And then we would follow each other to be the first to come to the parlor door. It was a sight. All dark inside except for the candles on the tree. Then later, after the gifts, Uncle Boris would dance around the tree. We should all join in.
Yes, Eddie, come.
No.
You are in Europe now.
Nope.
You cannot be shy in France.
I
Come.
will walk behind
Oh,
you.
you
I will
scared.
not
He's
be
blushing.
doing
What, you
whatever.
don't dance in the
I
mountain?
Uncle
He's
Morris
blushing.
ain't
Look at
my
him.
uncle, boy.
I made a soldier of...
Listen, I was a pretty good jitterbug back in high school.
What is it?
Jitterbug.
What's happening?
Relax. There we go. All right. So you
right.
go.
I
Step.
don't like bugs.
Step.
Rock step. There you go. Yeah, that's right. That's good. This is how we do it back in the States.
Go, one more and we're gonna get fancy.
Why? No, I don't
Rock
want to.
step, rock.
I'm not ready to get fancy.
A
I'm
rock
not.
step. Here
No,
we
I
go.
don't want to.
Oh, when we got too wild, Mama would say to us, "All right now, little ones, it is time. Shall we sing a carol to greet the Christ King?" Oh. Those days we were happy. We hated no one.
I will get something for our Christmas supper.
What happened? What happened?
He took off, didn't he? I didn't think he'd do that, you know.
What do I do?
Oh, and he...
I have something in here.
Look, she's screaming at me and I hit my damned head.
Here. Take some of this. It will soothe the bowel.
It's dysentery.
Comes from malnutrition. From scavenging. I was lucky to steal potato skins from a farmer's pig. Potato skins and maggots. I also found a cabbage soup and some chocolate from the body of a soldier. Such things no longer make me shudder.
I'm sorry. I thought you made a run for it. I guess I couldn't blame you.
Might have an important bump there, but it is not serious. Some cold water and a strip of cloth might help. Fräulein?
Food will make everyone feel better.
Thank you. You'll make a real good doctor. And I hope it will be soon.
And you and your Frau will raise happy children. And horses up in the mountains.
Christmas supper. There's bread and some meat. It is only cow's lung, but it will make you strong.
You're a good person, Jacqueline. It is a handsome Christmas supper.
Eddie Miller, may peace be with you this night and forevermore. Reinhold Schultz, may peace be with you this night and forevermore.
Peace to you.
His name is
Eddie. Peace to you, Eddie Miller.
Same to you. Round home. Herr Schultz.
It is time, little ones, it is time. Shall we sing a carol to greet the Christkind? Douce nuit, sainte nuit, dans les cieux, l'astre luit. Cet enfant seul éveille endormi. Le mystère annoncé s'accomplit.
Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Stille Nacht, heilige Nacht, alles schläft, einsam wacht, nur das traute hochheilige Paar. Hol der Knabe im lochigen Haar.
Sleep in heavenly
Schlaf in himmlischer Ruhe. Schlaf in himmlischer Ruhe. Schlaf in himmlischer Ruhe.
It was almost 6 months before the fighting stopped. For so many, it was not soon enough. This time of year, every year, I put the crash on the table and turn the broom over in the pram. Through all of these years, I have held faith and prayed that Reinhold and Eddie are safe. Often I have thought perhaps they could be found. And if so, how I would invite them to visit here. Eddie would sit here. We could talk about his horse farm. And his wife. I've forgotten her name. Perhaps Reinhold would travel here as well. And I would say to him, Willkommen, Reinhold. How was your journey?
Sehr gut. Danke. Very enjoyable. Much easier than it was in 1944. May I help with something?
Yes, could you get the tire-bouchon corkscrew from the pantry, s'il vous plaît?
Of course. Dottie.
What?
Eddie's Frau. Her name. I think it was Dottie.
Of course. Well, here he is, just as before. The last one to arrive.
This time he knocked.
Oh, no weapons. Seems my manners have improved.
Please, won't you sit? I saved your places.
Thank you.
May I take your coat?
Thank you.
Yeah. Please. So you see, I am still here on the Prole farm, still tending the old pump, still feeding the chickens. I'll get more wine for my friends.
So much has changed in these years. Seems the wounds of war stay with us, don't it? I'm sorry you did not return home uninjured.
It was war. Changed everything. The moment came for me after Christmas Eve in the Battle of the Bulge. When it happened, it startled me. But I felt nothing. So strange to feel nothing. I looked down. Bone and muscle shattered. The whole arm completely destroyed. The end of Schultz and Son, surgeons. It almost killed my father. But the worst was later, when we got the news that Gunther would never be returning home from the Russian front.
I'm so sorry. At least your time in war was short. I'm sorry, too. To hear that the war took your fiancé. It's a big loss.
I know.
My brother and his wife are with me often. And their joyous little boy. They named him Francois.
Have a tough time putting the pieces in the right place. So many bad memories. So much guilt.
You made it home. You have your health. The war is behind you. We live now with what the war left us. You know, not far from here is Aachen. Beautiful place. Destroyed when Hitler said, defend it to the last man.
Aiken. During that battle, I received a minor wound. I went to a very busy aid station where it just so happened I ran into a medic I had helped out on Omaha Beach. He looked much older, tired. A woman came to the door in tears, said her son was dying, needed help. That medic jumped at the chance. I followed him as backup. We finally reached her house, and there he was. 2, 3-year-old boy, struggling for breath, choking. The medic wrapped him up, ran back to the aid station, and he laid this beautiful little child down. Doctor came over, listened with the stethoscope, straightened up, shook his head. The boy had died in the medic's arms on the way back. That was the first time I had cried since I had been in Europe.
My brother, he will never know the joys of life without war. Getting married, having children, perhaps. I miss him. I miss him and the man he would have become. As you say, all of the innocent people, on all sides, the madness. I often feel guilty that I am living.
Exactly. The death of that child was the death of humanity. Its purest form. Jacqueline saved you that night. Had she not been there, I would have shot you.
No.
Yeah, the GI who came through that door was a killer. It was a long war for me. I was too well trained. It would have been a simple reaction. You see the enemy, you kill him. I thank God Jacqueline was here. I'm so sorry for what you lost, what she lost. I'm sorry for so many things.
It was war.
Yeah, war. I know.
I met a good man in this farmhouse, if only for a few hours at night. No, you were young. You had to kill. It was your duty. It was survival. My wounds are on the outside. For you, it is the wounds on the inside. They are far more severe. I wish you peace for what remains in your life. So, soon we return home. But don't forget, you have friends in Germany and France.
And wife back in the U.S. This is Jenny. No horse farm kids yet, but who knows?
Oh, we thought her name was...
Things changed a bit while I was away. My folks had heard the rumor that my unit had been wiped out at the Bulge. So when I turned up in one piece, it was a day to celebrate. A day to celebrate, except Dottie wasn't in the house. My mother was the one who had to tell me. She got herself pregnant, Eddie. Gonna marry some soldier out west, you gotta forget about her. Just like that. Forget about her, Eddie. She turned out to be no good. I guess I fell apart. Out of my head for a while. They had me over at the VA till I could finally get back on my feet, and then I did go and get married. We're living in a new development like they're building now. Little yards out back. Putting some tomato plants and nasturtiums for Jenny. I go out there sometimes. I look up at the stars. Live. It's okay.
I'm a school teacher now. Third garden, Alsburg Grundschule. It is Guten Morgen, Herr Schulz. And Danke, Herr Schulz. Until they think I cannot hear them, then they call me Alt Schulze. I try to light the fire of learning under them. And when we study the sky at night, I say to them, not as children, for the stars in the sky can exist amongst each other and not need to destroy one another. Then Kurt, my future scientist, he looks up with those bright eyes. And the stars, Herr Schulz, they're good for wishing on, yeah? Yeah, Kurt, I say. They are the best for wishing on. And you must never stop.
We do not talk about the war. My brother and I. But on a cold winter's night, after I have said my evening prayers, I look up at the stars and I whisper, "Peace be with you, Francois Leandre." Peace be with you, Eddie Miller. Peace be with you, Reinhold Schultz.
Peace be with you, Judith.
Cette nuit, sainte nuit, dans les cieux, l'astre lui, cet enfant se l'épaille endormi. Les mystères annoncés s'accomplissent. C'est l'amour infini. C'est l'amour infini.
Sci-Fi.